I have to read the beginning of her bio that's on her website because I love it. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to ask you to tell me in the chat what you think I like about it. Okay, so it's a little bit of a icebreaker quiz here. Rebecca Gardyn Levington is a children's book author, poet, and journalist with a particular penchant for penning both playful and poignant picture books and poems, primarily in rhyme. Her debut picture book was Brainstorm, and her sophomore picture book is what we're going to be reading tonight, which is Whatever Comes Tomorrow. And she has 6 additional rhyming picture books coming over the next few years, which is just amazing. So if you've ever wanted to talk about what it takes to write well in rhyme, I think tonight is the night for you. Okay, let me check the chat. Alliteration, that's right, the musical rhythm. You all know me too well, but I thought that was particularly pleasant to find that she used her writing talents in such a clever way in her own bio. Rebecca, please join us.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right, so this is my latest book called Whatever Comes Tomorrow. And the words are by me, Rebecca Gardyn Levington, and the art is by Mariona Cabasa, who is like, we're going to talk about it, I'm sure, but look at this. It's so beautiful. I'm sorry, I can't handle it. All right, here we go. Ready? Whatever comes tomorrow may bring endless sun or swirly, snowy skies. Tomorrow may bring new hellos or difficult goodbyes. Tomorrow may bring loneliness or laughter with a friend. Tomorrow may bring words that wound or ones that heal and mend. Tomorrow may bring changes that are scary, strange, or new. Tomorrow may bring chances to embrace your truest you. Tomorrow may bring obstacles that seem too hard to face. Tomorrow may bring feelings that will need some extra space. Tomorrow may bring questions that you have no answers for, or answers that may lead you to more questions than before.
Does writing in rhyme, did it come naturally to you, or is it something that you had to work at and improve over time?
Yes and yes. Yes, I was a dancer as a kid. I always had a singer, and so I always had a natural, I think, rhythm in me. And I loved rhyme and poetry as a kid. I was constantly copying Shel Silverstein poems into books, or I loved Dr. Seuss. I loved all the rhyming books. So I do feel like I had it in me, but I remember when I first got started writing picture books, I would have somebody read it out loud to me. And I would be like, you're reading it wrong. Why are you putting the syllable on the wrong? And I didn't understand what I know now, which is that they weren't reading it wrong. They were reading it the way they would naturally read it. And I, as the writer, needed to create my sentences with the beats on the right, in the right order, in the right meter. And I actually remember a webinar that you had given early when I first joined 12 by 12. And you said, if you don't know these words, scansion, meter, iambic, pentameter, if you don't know these words that I'm saying right now, you should not be writing in rhyme.
Oh,
and
I'm so
like,
glad.
What is she talking about? I'm like, I don't know those words, but I can write in rhyme. She doesn't know what she's talking about. And then, of course, it took me like 2 years to realize, oh yeah, she's right. I shouldn't be writing
faster than my kids have ever figured out that I knew something when I was talking about it. But yeah, I'm so glad that slide stuck with you because I still use it.
And it's so true. If people out there who are listening, don't waste 2 years of your life pretending like you know what you're doing, because you don't. Even if you think that you don't, do yourself a favor, sign up for Renee Latulip's Lyrical Language Lab class. It was a game changer for my life and my career. She will teach you everything you need to know and then you'll be fine. And then all you have to do is practice after that. And you just have to keep writing poems all the time until you really start to understand that don't mess with the stress, which is,
Right.
what Renee says all the time. And it's so true. If you don't mess with the stress, then your rhyme will get so much better and you'll be able to play with it so much more.
Right. And one other thing is watch out. I had an editor say this once to me, is watch out for empty calories in word form, because she said what a lot of people do is they put extra thes or that,
Yes.
than, or whatever in order to keep the meter working.
Yes.
It may make the meter work, which is good, but it doesn't strengthen the verse or the story or
It's
anything.
so
But
true. I
yeah,
tell people all the time, I think the best thing you can do when you're writing in rhyme is to take out as many one-syllable words as you can,
Mhm.
replace them with multi-syllable words,
Mhm.
especially in your first lines of your poem, so that you can really train your reader to read it the way that you want it to be read. Because if you have two lines at the beginning that are all one-syllable words, it's almost impossible for the reader to get the rhythm that you're intending, because it could be read, if you just read it like prose, like it's not going to have any rhythm. And so I say that all the time. Try to take out as many one-syllable words, and that will help with your empty calories too, because if you're taking out the ands and the its and the ins and the thes, and you're creating multi-syllable words, you're not going to need as many of those filler words to round out your meter.
That's right. And we're talking about picture books here, by the way, because somebody just said the Cat in the Hat. And yes, first of all, Dr. Seuss probably wouldn't get published today, even though we all know and love him. But early readers, that's a whole different story.
Oh yeah, that's totally
Okay,
different.
so
Yeah.
we're talking about picture books here. If you're rhyming and you're doing early readers, you're going to be using a lot of one syllable rhyming words, and that's totally fine. Continuing on the rhyming for a minute, I want to make sure that people really get this. You can have a natural proclivity for rhyme, and you still need to learn the ins and outs. It's a both and rather than an
Yes.
either or,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. It's an art and a science.
Yes. If you don't know what you don't know, it won't work. It just
So
won't
true.
work. You have to learn it. You have
Yeah,
to learn that stuff.
I
So
agree.